And specifically, it will contain a very big update to our built-in control called TabView, which is a very much requested control for line of business applications, because you often want to display multiple different things in your application and work in parallel on multiple different workloads, for example. And many companies are requesting that. So we are updating the TabView control to bring more features, and I will show you how it works in Hot Design as well. This is going to be a simple, quick demo, but it kind of shows you how you can apply a Hot Design to every single control that's built in. So here I have the tab view with 3 tabs. Actually, let me show you that I can switch between tabs, select different tabs. It has different content so that you can see what it actually changes. But I will go back to Hot Design here, and I will show you how you can quickly customize the tabs. So I can, for example, here, change the header of the tab to something like "Hello, everyone." And you can see it changes the tab in the preview. And I can then also do things like change the background. So let's see. One favorite, whoever remembers Monodevelop, or how was it called? Monogame, right? Monogame. Mm-hmm. That was the name. They used the cornflower blue color. That's the classic blue color from all the .NET-based games. So here we go. And I can actually also set the icon of that tab. So if I go to icon source, I can set that icon to be a symbol icon. And then let's use a symbol of, for example, home, because we want it to feel like home. So if I do that, we should be, let's go back to running app. Maybe we apply it. Yes. So we can see here the icon changed to the home icon, because this is the home tab that I want to show. Of course, the weird thing is that home tab is not the first tab in the selection, and that's easy to fix because TabView is a control that allows drag and drop, and I can actually do the reordering as in multiple different ways. I can do the reordering directly in Hot Design, which I can do here. If I edit this, I can move the tab upwards. So now the tab is in the first place. But I also can just exit Hot Design and do reordering by the functionality of the tab view itself. You can reorder tabs. So I can do it at runtime, which is because it's a built-in feature of the control itself. Well, now, the home tab is something that we want to be displayed every single time. So one important thing that you should do with a home tab is to make sure it's not closable. So there is a property that allows you to make it not closable. And if I tap this, you can see that now the tab does not have the close button. So the user will not be able to close it accidentally, because that's something that we want to be displayed every single time. So that's another nice feature. And one new feature that we also added in this release is the tab sizing, because you can see now the tabs are sized equally. So each tab has the same width, but it's kind of wasting space. So what I can do is to go to tab view and change the width, tab width mode here. And that tab width mode property allows you to select either compact sizing or size to content. If I do size to content, for example, you can see that the tabs are now exactly as big as they need to be so that they can display the content that you set it to contain. And also they don't waste space if you want to add more tabs. So that's the kind of quick preview of our next release and the new features that are coming to TabView and that you will be able to use in your line of business applications.
Yeah,
so that's it for me.
So Martin, if you go back to Hot Design for just one quick second here, I want to highlight something that you have been using and Steve mentioned. So if you select a UI element and if you look at all the properties, like the smart view brings 90% of the things that you would commonly want to edit, but you're not limited to it. Like you can switch to all, and then you see all of the properties, and there's a search bar right up there. So you can, if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can search and you can get to it quick.
Yeah, that's a nice thing that when you actually select something that's not in the smart view and you change the value, so you send something custom there, you can go back to Smart View and you can see that the property was added there. So everything you actually adjust or change will also show up in the Smart View, because you now you aren't expected to maybe modify it again. So we kind of show it directly in the Smart View this way.
Yeah, indeed. So, Martin, while I have you here, let's try to answer two questions that came in from the chat room here and the registrations. I feel this one here depends a little bit on individuals. Like, you have the choice here, but for you, like, what's the best workflow? Would you prototype your UI first in the designer, or would you do code first?
Yeah, that feels like a kind of personal question. But I think like it's a mix of both, because it depends on the workflow that you're currently in. Because if you are currently prototyping some new screen, I'm usually going to hot design because it's easier to drag and drop and see the results of what I'm doing right away. But if I'm doing something that's more repetitive, I go to Visual Studio and maybe use GitHub Copilot to suggest some code for me, and then I will see it when I save it. I will see it in the running application using hot reload. So because of the two-way connection between the running application and your Visual Studio instance or whatever IDE you are using, you can use both modes in a kind of a mixed way in whichever scenario it feels more appropriate. So if you are prototyping with AI, then you can start in IDE and see the results in the running app. And conversely, if you are prototyping yourself and trying some variations of your design, it's best to start with hot design, and your changes will be preserved in code.
Yeah. Nick, if you are still around, let me ask you maybe the same question, but with a different twist. Like chat room here is asking, like, what if you're editing, styles really quickly? So what's your go-to?
Yes, so currently styles are something that are still done in the IE. We obviously, on an individual element basis, you can go and customize the look and feel. We do obviously encourage the use of styles, as Steve mentioned. So they're highlighted at the top, so it gives you the ability to specify a style. So rather than having 15 different styles, like 15 different sort of font sizes for your various texts, you can go and apply sensible styles across the board. And we very much took the approach that out of the box, that we already have two sort of themes. We already have Fluent and Material, and so those are very well supported in hot design. So out of the box, you already have a bunch of styles built in, ready to go. And so we try to prioritize the workflow of trying to build out screens as quickly as you can, and with a view that down the line we will do things like extract to style and style editing and stuff like that. Things that we view that developers will do probably less frequently, but not to say that they're not as important. So